probably interact with one or more of these logos every day when you're out for a run, waiting for those boxes that you ordered, or absolutely smoking your siblings in Call of Duty. Pew pew! We'll start with the big guns. A logo so famous that Nike has pretty much secured cultural ownership over the word swoosh. Designed in 1971 by, get this, a graphic design student named Carolyn Davidson, the Nike logo mimics the wings of the Greek goddess of victory. Yep, this Nike. It also looks like a very swooshy check mark. Swooshy is a word, right? To make you think of getting things done, as in, just do it. With a fluid silhouette evoking motion and speed, the swoosh shows just how much brand messaging you can infuse into a seemingly simple, abstract design. Good job, Carolyn. Not bad for a quick freelance gig. Adam and Eve, the Big Apple, an apple a day. How do you like them apples?
How do you like them apples?
Apples have been used throughout history to refer to everything from temptation to health, to Matt Damon's intellectual triumph in Good Will Hunting. Why Apple chose a half-eaten piece of fruit as its pictorial mark is the stuff of legends. Some have said it was inspired by Alan Turing's fatal bite of a cyanide-laced apple, or that a bite is a clever visual pun on B-Y-T-E, bite. Now that would be clever, but it's a total coincidence. Designer Rob Yanoff has said that the bite makes a simple shape look more like an apple, and not just some random fruit like a cherry. But interest in the logo's history is a lesson in itself. It shows how design can contribute to the mythology of the brand as a whole. Though the Apple logo is a very literal interpretation of the word apple, it helps link that age-old earthy symbol with something far more contemporary and innovative. And it reads like a promise. What happens when you take a bite? Here's proof that an iconic logo doesn't have to service a giant multinational corporation. Great design helps you everywhere, including your morning commute. The London Underground's logo, a bar and circle known as the roundel, has been around for over a century. It's a simplified image of a wheel, along with a text bar that displays the name of a station. The development of the roundel helped originate the humanist sans serif typeface, a group of fonts that are simple and legible, and they're popular with public signage and advertising. The roundel is a great example of logo design that's easy to understand and reliable. Perfect for when you're in a rush. When PlayStation decided to shift gears from 2D to 3D graphics for the development of its first video game consoles, the brand needed a new logo to match. In 1994, designer Manabu Sakamoto created a 3D-inspired optical illusion with an upright P and a flat S. Have you ever noticed how the S looks like a little racetrack too? Fun, right? The logo helped PlayStation demonstrate its commitment to the new technology, while giving us a feel for the immersive world of a 3D video game. And now, the only logo on our list that's distinctly and proudly pink. Barbie pink, in fact. The Barbie logo has gone through several changes since the doll was introduced by the Mattel Toy Company in 1959. But Mattel co-founder Ruth Handler and her husband, Elliot, set the foundation for the brand's visual identity, developing a cursive typeface that was feminine, fun, and playful. This was a big deal, because the revolutionary thing about Barbie is that she was the first major children's doll to look like a young, professional woman, though not exactly an anatomically accurate one. Until Barbie, most dolls represented babies, but the breezy, youthful Barbie logo helped establish the new Barbie doll as a modern, glamorous trendsetter for years to come. Have you ever noticed the nifty design trick in the FedEx logo? Look more carefully. There. How cool is that? Logo designer Lyndon Leader used negative space to form an arrow between the E and the X, conveying speed and direction. Funnily enough, it was an accident. Leader only noticed he'd inadvertently made an arrow after playing around with 400 versions of the design. The FedEx logo is a stellar example of less is more. Using negative space can help you pack extra meaning into your design without overcrowding it. How do you tell consumers you're a global brand without sacrificing the identity that makes you appealing in the first place? Japanese clothing brand Uniqlo used to have a simple English language logo that looked like this. But in the mid-2000s, designer Kashiwa Sato was asked to create a logo that emphasized the brand's Japanese heritage for a global audience. The logo is now bright red and white to match the colors of the Japanese flag. And there are two versions of the logo, one in Japanese and one in an English typeface based on Japanese lettering. If you're hungry for more fun, insidery details about the world's most iconic logos, whether that's the golden arches of McDonald's or the three-pointed star of Mercedes-Benz, zoom over to our blog to read more. And if you're in the market for a logo design that makes a big difference to your own brand, VistaPrint has you covered. Whether that's creating your own on Logo Maker, working one-on-one with a professional designer, or getting options from dozens of designers. Get a logo you'll love, guaranteed.